just receiving a billionaire blessing. Yes, you. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now in this very moment. Don't scroll, don't blink, because what you're hearing isn't random. It's destiny calling your name. This isn't hype. This isn't chance. This is God Himself cracking open heaven's vault, pouring out abundance that will not stop, cannot stop, until your life overflows in ways you never imagined. Your past can't block it. Your enemies can't stop it. You're not watching by accident. You're standing inside a divine appointment. Chosen one, the billionaire blessing has your name carved into it. You are not here by accident. This moment, these words reaching your ears right now, are not just random sounds passing through the noise of everyday life. No, this is a divine appointment. This is God's timing, precise and intentional. You might have thought you just stumbled across this message, or maybe curiosity led you here, but your spirit knows the truth. You were meant to hear this. You were chosen to be here. This is not coincidence. This is God orchestrating your steps so you could receive what has been prepared for you all along. Take a breath. Let it sink in. Everything in your life, the struggles, the setbacks, the small victories, the quiet prayers, has led to this exact moment. It's like every step you've taken has been part of a larger pattern, woven together by unseen hands. The disappointments you've endured weren't meant to break you, they were positioning you. The delays you hated weren't wasted time, they were preparation. And now, here you stand, hearing God's whisper through these words. This is your time. Think about it. How many times did you almost give up? How many moments did you question if God was even listening? And yet, you're still here. You survived storms you thought would take you out. You endured nights of uncertainty, days of struggle, years where you felt overlooked. But God never forgot you. You were never invisible to Him. You were never forgotten. What you thought was silence was strategy. He was setting the stage for something so big, so extraordinary that when it unfolds, people will know it was God. Right now, your name is carved into a divine promise. That's not poetic exaggeration. It's reality. Just like a craftsman carves words into stone, God has carved your name into His plan for abundance. This is personal. This isn't a general blessing floating out there for someone. No, this is specific. This is intentional. This is yours. And I need you to understand, this blessing is not just about money. Yes, financial increase is part of it. Yes, bills will be paid, debts will be canceled, opportunities will open. But the billionaire blessing God is speaking into your life goes deeper. It's about abundance in every area. It's about living a life so rich in purpose, so overflowing with peace, so filled with joy and impact that people can't help but see God in you. Pause for a moment. Imagine the ripple of this moment. You're not just receiving words, you're receiving a shift. Something inside you knows this is real. That stirring in your chest right now, that's your spirit responding to truth. It's God's confirmation. It's the sign that what you've been waiting for, praying for, crying out for, is beginning to unfold. This moment is sacred. Don't treat it casually. Every time God shows up, it's because something is being released in the spirit. And right now, what's being released is a billionaire's blessing, a flow of abundance that will not only change your circumstances, but rewrite the story of your life. Think back to how many times you told yourself, maybe this is just how life will be for me. Maybe I'll always scrape by. Maybe I'll never see more than survival. But hear this, that was a lie from the enemy. You were never created to live in constant lack. God didn't design you to stay stuck and struggle. You are a chosen one, and chosen ones don't just survive, they overflow. Consider Joseph. He was betrayed, sold, falsely accused, locked in prison. If you had seen him at any of those low points, you might have thought his life was doomed. But every painful season was a divine appointment leading to his destiny. He didn't see it at first, but God was aligning him with purpose. And one day, the shift came. Suddenly, the pit was replaced with the palace. That's the power of God's timing, and that's what's happening for you right now. Don't miss the weight of this truth. The very reason you're hearing this message is because God wants you to know you're stepping into your own Joseph moment. The seasons of hardship, the nights of prayer, the days of waiting, they were all preparation for the vault of abundance God is about to open. Let yourself believe it. This isn't a maybe. This isn't wishful thinking. This is divine certainty. Numbers 23:19 says, God is not a man that he should lie. If he said it, it will happen. And he has spoken abundance over your life. He has declared prosperity, not just in your finances, but in your spirit, your purpose, your influence. Right now, as you read, something is shifting in you. Your spirit is waking up to the truth that you were created for more. You were created for impact. You were created to be a vessel of abundance. And God is saying, now is the time. So, what do you do in this moment? You lean in, you receive it, you claim it, you declare with your own mouth that you are ready. Don't wait for everything to look perfect before you believe. Faith means you accept the promise before you see the evidence. And right now, faith is the key that unlocks your next level. Let me tell you this, your presence here, in this very moment, is proof enough. You didn't come across this message by chance, you didn't hear these words randomly. You're here because God Himself drew you here. This is your burning bush moment, your divine encounter, your undeniable sign. The question isn't whether the blessing is real. The question is whether you'll believe enough to step into it. So step, claim it, say yes. Lift your heart and whisper, Lord, I receive. Because as you do, heaven takes notice. Angels record your declaration. The universe aligns, and the door swings open wider. Remember this, divine appointments don't come every day. They're rare, sacred, life-altering moments. And when they come, chosen ones respond. You are chosen. This is your appointment. And the billionaire blessing of abundance is unfolding now. Picture this, a massive vault sealed for centuries. Its doors are thick with rust, its locks unbroken by any human hand. For generations, people have walked past it, never knowing the treasures hidden inside. And then, suddenly, you hear the sound. A low rumble, a crack forming. The lock begins to break, not because of your strength, but because of God's command. Light spills through the cracks, blinding, golden, overflowing. And as the doors swing open, you realize, this vault was always meant for you. That's the image God wants you to carry in your spirit. For years, it might have felt like your life was locked behind barriers, opportunities out of reach, blessings delayed, dreams hidden away where you couldn't touch them. But those barriers are breaking now. The vault of abundance is opening, and the wealth inside, spiritual, financial, emotional, relational, is being released with your name on it. This isn't about some small increase. This isn't about just enough. No. What God is opening is overflow. It's abundance beyond your imagination. It's the kind of blessing that makes people step back and say, only God could have done that. Because that's the point. God isn't just giving you provision. He's revealing His glory through your life. Think about it. A vault sealed shut for centuries. Why would God wait until now to open it? Because now is the appointed time. Your journey, your growth, your struggles have positioned you to receive what others could not. You're not stepping into this blessing by luck. You're stepping into it by divine design. The very things that felt like delays were actually alignments. God was making sure you were prepared, mature, and ready to handle what He was always planning to release. And let's be clear, this vault isn't just full of money. Yes, financial wealth is part of it. Debts will be erased. Businesses will rise, homes will be built. But the real treasure is purpose. The real wealth is influence, freedom, peace, and impact. God isn't just putting money in your hands. He's putting destiny in your spirit. Imagine the ripple effect of what's being released. With abundance, you'll be free to move without fear of lack. You'll be able to say yes to the calling on your life without hesitation. You'll fund visions, support missions, transform communities. Your life will will become evidence of God's overflowing goodness. This isn't just wealth. It's a revolution in how you live, how you give, how you lead. Let's take Joseph again. When God elevated him, it wasn't just about giving him personal riches. It was about positioning him as the steward of Egypt's resources during a famine. His vault of abundance wasn't for him alone, it was for nations. And when the time came, he didn't hoard it. He opened the storehouses and fed the world. That's the kind of abundance you're stepping into. What God is releasing isn't just for you to hold, it's for you to pour out. Pause here. Feel that in your chest, the recognition that what you're receiving is bigger than you. That's why the vault had to stay closed until now. God wasn't just protecting the treasure, He was preparing you. And now, because you've been faithful in the small, because you didn't let bitterness or fear destroy you, He's trusting you with much. But here's the beauty of it. This vault is limitless. Unlike earthly wealth, which runs out, God's abundance flows like a river that never dries up. Every time you give, more flows in. Every time you pour out, more is replenished. You will not lack, because this vault is connected to heaven's economy, and heaven's supply cannot be emptied. Now, let's bring this closer to home. What does it mean for you personally? It means opportunities will start opening that you didn't even pursue. It means doors will unlock where you thought there were only walls. It means resources will find you. Favor will follow you. Connections will align for you. The vault of abundance is not just an idea. It's a reality already in motion. Look at your life as it is right now. Maybe you see lack. Maybe you see bills stacking, debts weighing heavy, dreams delayed. But God says, stop looking at the closed vault. Look at the opening. Faith doesn't focus on the chains. It looks for the cracks of light. And right now, light is breaking through for you. This is why you can't hold on to a scarcity mindset anymore. Scarcity says, what if I don't have enough? Abundance says, God's supply never runs out. Scarcity makes you cling tightly to what little you have. Abundance makes you open your hand, knowing that when you release, God replenishes. And stepping into this billionaire blessing requires you to shift your mindset. You can't enter abundance with the language of lack. You must speak overflow, think overflow, expect overflow. Let me remind you, the vault is not opening because you earned it. It's opening because you were created for it. That's grace. That's divine favor. God has seen your faith, your endurance, your willingness to keep going when it would have been easier to quit. And now He's saying, the time has come. The vault is yours. So, picture it again. The doors wide open, gold spilling out, jewels shining, scrolls of destiny unrolling with your name on them, and you walking in, not as a beggar, not as someone lucky to be there, but as the rightful heir chosen by God Himself to inherit this abundance. That's who you are. That's where you're standing. That's what's unfolding right now. And as you step into it, remember, this isn't a fleeting moment. It's not a one-time gift. This is a river of abundance that never runs dry. This is the vault of heaven open to you. And once God opens a door, no one can shut it. So breathe it in, claim it, speak it aloud. The vault of abundance is opening for me. Let heaven hear it. Let your spirit rise with it. Because the blessing is here, and it's flowing into every part of your life. Think about the word legacy. It's bigger than money, bigger than possessions, bigger than what you can count or store away. Legacy is about what remains after you. It's the imprint your life leaves on the world. And right now, God is saying the billionaire's blessing you're stepping into is not just about filling your hands. It's about writing a story that will echo through generations. You see, money by itself can vanish. Wealth that is hoarded often dies with the person who held it. But wealth aligned with God's purpose becomes legacy. It multiplies far beyond you. It touches people you'll never meet, changes lives you'll never see, and ripples into generations yet unborn. That's the kind of abundance God is releasing over you. Look at Joseph again. His story wasn't about him finally escaping hardship just so he could sit in luxury. His rise carried the weight of nations. His position in Egypt fed multitudes. His wisdom saved lives. His legacy wasn't gold or grain. It was the proof that God can take someone from betrayal and prison to influence and impact. And generations later, Joseph's story still inspires faith. That's legacy. And here's the truth. You are stepping into the same kind of calling. The billionaire blessing isn't just for your comfort, it's for your impact. It's about God positioning you as a light, someone through whom resources will flow to heal, build, restore, and transform. You're not just being given wealth, you're being trusted with a legacy. Let this sink in. God is trusting you. He sees your heart, your character, your journey. He knows the tears you've cried, the sacrifices you've made, the prayers you've whispered when nobody else was around. And because He knows you'll use what He gives for good, He's placing legacy in your hands. This is why the blessing feels so big. It's not just about bills and bank accounts. It's about schools that will be built, families that will be lifted, ministries that will be funded, communities that will be restored. When God calls you a chosen one, He's not exaggerating. He's saying you are chosen to carry impact that outlives you. Think of Esther. Her rise to the palace wasn't about luxury. It was about positioning her for a legacy moment, to save her people. Her beauty opened the door, but her courage fulfilled her calling. And the wealth, favor, and authority that came with her position became tools for legacy. That's the same pattern unfolding in your life. What God is releasing isn't for you to admire. It's for you to apply. Legacy doesn't mean you'll never enjoy the blessing. Of course you will. God delights in seeing His children thrive. You'll live free from fear of lack. You'll enjoy the fruit of your labor. You'll taste the sweetness of abundance. But the deeper truth is that your wealth won't stop with you. It will flow through you, leaving trails of goodness wherever it goes. And understand this. Legacy doesn't start when you're gone. Legacy begins the moment you decide to live with impact. It starts when you choose to see wealth as more than status and embrace it as a tool for change. That's the shift happening in you right now. Your spirit is waking up to the truth that God didn't just choose you for riches. He chose you for responsibility. Don't shrink back from it. Don't think, who am I to carry legacy? Because God says you are exactly the one He prepared. Remember Gideon? He saw himself as the least, the weakest, the most unqualified. But God called him a mighty warrior and proved through him that legacy isn't about human qualification. It's about divine calling. The same is true for you. Now, let's get personal. Picture your family. Imagine the chains of lack, fear, and struggle breaking with you. Imagine generations after you remembering you not just for what you had, but for how you changed everything. Children studying in schools you helped build. Families living in homes you made possible. Communities thriving because you poured out. That's legacy. And it's not just about money. Your legacy includes faith. It includes wisdom. It includes the example you set by trusting God when everything looked impossible. The prayers you pray today will outlive you. The seeds you sow will grow into forests others will sit under. That's the billionaire blessing. It's wealth that multiplies into impact, faith that multiplies into testimony, obedience that multiplies into destiny. The enemy wants you to believe wealth is selfish, that to desire abundance is greed, but that's a lie meant to keep you small. God's economy doesn't look like the world's. He gives wealth to those He can trust with legacy, and He has chosen you. So embrace it. Don't apologize for it. Don't downplay it. Speak it boldly. I am chosen to carry legacy. My blessing will outlive me. My wealth will multiply for generations. Let those words take root in you. Because legacy isn't just a promise. It's an identity. It's who you are. And here's the truth. The vault of abundance you're stepping into isn't just filled with treasures for today. It's stocked with generational wealth, generational favor, generational impact. You're not just receiving for yourself, you're receiving for your children, your children's children. and those who will be touched by your story long after you. Pause. Feel that spark inside your chest again. That's your soul recognizing destiny. That's your spirit agreeing with heaven. The billionaire blessing isn't small. It's not temporary. It's not ordinary. It's legacy. And God has written your name into it. You've carried chains longer than you realized. Chains of doubt, chains of fear, chains of not enough. Chains of words spoken over you years ago that told you what you couldn't do, who you couldn't be, how far you'd never go. Maybe they were subtle, whispered in passing, or maybe they were loud, harsh, and unforgettable. Either way, they stuck. They wrapped themselves around your spirit and shaped how you saw yourself. And for too long, you've lived like those chains defined you. But here's the truth. God is breaking those chains right now. Picture iron links rusting, cracking, falling apart. Imagine the sound of chains hitting the floor, loud, final, permanent. That's what's happening in the spirit as you step into this billionaire blessing. Every lie that told you weren't enough is breaking. Every voice that said you couldn't rise is silenced. Every limitation that tried to hold you back is shattered. Understand this. You cannot carry God's abundance with a mindset of lack. You cannot step into freedom while gripping fear. The old you, the one who doubted, the one who questioned, the one who barely survived, cannot walk into this new season. God is reshaping you right now, transforming not just your circumstances but your identity. You are not the same person you were yesterday. Think of the Israelites. For 400 years they lived as slaves in Egypt. Slavery was all they knew. Even after God set them free, many still carried the mindset of bondage. They longed for Egypt because Egypt was familiar, but God was calling them to a promised land overflowing with milk and honey. He was saying, "You were made for abundance, not captivity." That's exactly what He's saying to you. The chains of limitation are broken. Egypt is behind you. Abundance is ahead. But here's the key. You must let those chains go. Sometimes we grow so used to them that they feel like part of us. Doubt feels normal. Fear feels safe. Small thinking feels comfortable. But those chains were never meant to define you. And now God is saying, release them. Step out of them. Walk free. Let's talk about fear. Fear tells you, what if you fail? Faith says, what if you succeed beyond your imagination? Fear whispers, you're not worthy of this blessing. God says, I chose you before you were born. Fear keeps you small, but abundance requires boldness. And God is breaking that fear so you can walk boldly into everything He has prepared. Now, let's talk about doubt. Doubt creeps in when you can't see the evidence yet. It tells you maybe God's promise is too good to be true. But doubt is just a shadow, and shadows disappear when light shines. Right now, God's light is shining on your life, scattering every shadow of doubt. His word says in Isaiah 41:10, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." That's not just encouragement, that's a guarantee. And then there's the chain of unworthiness. Maybe you've thought, why me? Why would God bless me this way? But listen carefully, you were never meant to earn this blessing. It's not about what you've done. It's about who you are. You are chosen. You are loved. You are called. God isn't blessing you because you checked every box. He's blessing you because He made you for this. Look at Gideon. When God called him, he said, "My clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family." He saw himself through chains of limitation, but God saw a mighty warrior. And with God's strength, Gideon led a nation to victory. The same transformation is happening in you. Where you once saw weakness, God sees strength. Where you once felt least, God declares you first. Breaking chains also means breaking cycles. Maybe your family has lived in lack for generations. Maybe you grew up hearing, "We just don't have enough." But that cycle stops with you. The billionaire blessing you're stepping into is not just breaking chains off your life, It's breaking generational chains. Your children, your grandchildren, your descendants will walk in freedom because you chose to believe today. You are the cycle breaker. Pause here. Feel it. That spark in your chest again? That's freedom rising. That's your spirit recognizing that the chains are gone. You are not who you used to be. You are not limited. You are not small. You are chosen, appointed, and anointed to carry abundance. Now, let's get practical. Breaking chains means shifting your mindset. Start speaking abundance. Stop rehearsing lack. Replace, I can't afford this, with, God supplies all my needs. Replace, I'm not worthy, with, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Replace, I'll never rise, with, I am the head and not the tail. Your words shape your reality, and your new season requires a new language. And don't be surprised if the enemy tries to slip those chains back on. He'll whisper lies. He'll remind you of your past. He'll try to convince you nothing has changed. But remember, lies only have power if you believe them, and you know the truth now. The chains are broken. Once God breaks them, they cannot be reforged. So walk free. Lift your head, straighten your shoulders, breathe deeply. You are not bound anymore. You are stepping into abundance with a new identity, a new mindset, a new spirit. This is your liberation day. The chains of limitation are gone, and the path to overflow is open. Declare it with your mouth. The chains are broken. I am free. I am chosen for abundance. Let those words echo into heaven. Let them ring in your own heart. Let them silence the lies of the enemy. Because this is real. This is now. This is yours. And as you walk free, watch how quickly doors begin to open. Watch how opportunities align. Watch how provision flows. Because nothing can stop a chosen one who has been unchained. You are not simply being blessed for the sake of blessing. You are being positioned. God's billionaire blessing is not random wealth dropping into your lap. It's a divine assignment, unfolding at the precise moment He ordained for your life. This isn't about luck. This isn't about being in the right place at the right time by chance. This is about destiny. This is about God's perfect timing, moving you into alignment with His greater plan. Think about the seasons of your life. There were times when you felt ready for more, when you cried out, Lord, I'm prepared now. Why are you delaying? And yet, the door didn't open. At the time, it felt like silence. But now, you see, it wasn't silence, it was strategy. God wasn't withholding the blessing. He was protecting it. He was waiting for the exact season where your heart, your character, and your surroundings were ready to carry the weight of what He wanted to release. Consider Abraham. God promised him descendants as numerous as the stars. But years passed with no child. Decades rolled on with no fulfillment in sight. Abraham could have given up. But when the time was right, when the alignment of God's promise and Abraham's faith intersected, Isaac was born. That blessing wasn't delayed out of cruelty. It was delivered in perfect timing. And your blessing is unfolding the same way. Right now, you're stepping into divine alignment. Every delay you've endured, every detour you've walked, every closed door you faced, they were all leading you here. The billionaire blessing wasn't ready before, and you weren't ready before. But now the season has arrived. And with this blessing comes assignment. God is not simply pouring abundance into your life for comfort. He's positioning you as a steward, a vessel, a channel through which His purpose will flow. This is bigger than you. This is about the lives you will touch, the doors you will open, the legacies you will fund. You are not just receiving, you are being sent. Think of Nehemiah. His assignment was to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. On the surface, it looked like a construction project. But in truth, it was a spiritual calling to restore identity and protection to a people who had been broken. Nehemiah didn't stumble into that assignment. God placed him there at the right time, with the right resources and the right favor. That's exactly what God is doing in your life. The resources coming to you aren't random. They're attached to your mission. And this is where timing matters. If you had received abundance before, maybe it would have been wasted on fear, on insecurity, on small vision. But now, because you've endured, because you've grown, because your faith has been tested and proven, God can trust you with more. Timing isn't just about opportunity, it's about readiness. And you are ready now. But let's be clear, readiness doesn't mean perfection. God is not waiting for you to have it all figured out. He's waiting for your yes. That's the key to timing. The moment you surrender, the moment you align your will with His, doors swing open, because assignment always flows through obedience. Think of Esther again. She was placed in the palace at a time when her people faced destruction. She didn't understand the full weight of her assignment at first, but when she surrendered to God's timing, she saved a nation. Her wealth, her favor, her position, they weren't for her comfort. They were tools for her mission. And that's your reality too. So pause. Ask yourself, what if the abundance God is releasing is not just about making your life easier, but about equipping you to fulfill your purpose? What if the money is a tool for impact, the influence a platform for change, the resources a doorway to destiny? That's what this billionaire blessing really is. It's not an end, it's a beginning. And here's the part that takes faith. Sometimes the assignment comes before the evidence. You may not see the billions yet. You may not see the full picture. But God is saying, trust me. Faith is walking when you don't see the path. Faith is moving forward when the vault has only just cracked open. Faith is believing the timing is perfect even when you don't yet understand it. Remember, God's timing never fails. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, He has made everything beautiful in its time. That means even the painful seasons, even the nights you cried, even the years of struggle, they were shaping something beautiful. And now, in this moment, beauty is unfolding. Timing is converging. Purpose is igniting. And the enemy, he will try to convince you that it's too late, that you missed your chance, that the blessing is for others, but not for you. But hear this, as long as you have breath, you are right on time. You cannot miss what God has ordained. His promises are not fragile. His timing is not weak. If He said it, it will come to pass. So step into this moment with confidence. Don't shrink back. Don't hesitate. Say yes to the assignment. Say yes to the timing. Because when your yes meets God's plan, miracles unfold. The billionaire blessing is not just wealth, it's your launch into destiny. Picture yourself walking into this season fully aligned. Every step guided, every door divinely timed, every resource perfectly positioned. That's what's happening now. This is not random. This is your divine appointment, your divine assignment, your divine timing. Declare it with your mouth. I am in alignment. I am walking in God's timing. I am ready for my assignment. As you speak it, heaven moves. Angels respond. The path clears. Because your words, spoken in faith, unlock the flow of God's timing in your life. This is your moment. This is your season. The blessing is not late. It is right on time. And you are stepping into it now. Imagine a cup sitting on a table. At first, it's empty. Then, slowly, water begins to pour in. Drop by drop, then steady stream until the cup is full. But it doesn't stop there. The water keeps flowing, spilling over the edges, running down the sides, soaking the table, dripping onto the floor. It doesn't end with the cup. It overflows, touching everything around it. That's the picture of what God is doing in your life right now. This billionaire blessing isn't a one-time deposit. It's not God saying, here's enough to get by for a little while. No, this is an overflow. It's a river that keeps pouring, a stream that never dries up, a flood that spreads beyond you. And the overflow is intentional. God isn't just filling your cup so you can say, I have enough. He's filling your cup until it spills into your family, your community, your city, and even places you may never physically go. You need to hear this. God's abundance is never just about you. He loves you enough to provide for you, yes. He wants you free from debt, free from lack, free from worry. But His plan is always bigger. His plan is for your blessing to become someone else's breakthrough. Your overflow is designed to bring healing, provision, and hope to those connected to you. Think of David in Psalm 23. He declared, "My cup overflows." That wasn't just poetic language, it was revelation. David knew God doesn't stop at enough. God moves in more than enough. That overflow meant David wasn't limited to his own strength, his own provision, his own capacity. He was living in the abundance of heaven itself, and that's exactly where you're being positioned now. Picture the people who will be touched by your overflow. A single mother who doesn't know how she'll pay rent, and your blessing makes a way for her. A child with no access to education, and your abundance builds the school. A community trapped in hopelessness, and your resources bring opportunity, jobs, transformation. Your cup isn't overflowing just to show off. It's overflowing to spill hope into dry places. And don't miss this. Overflow is not only financial. Yes, money will pour in. Yes, your bank account will reflect God's provision. But the overflow also includes peace that carries you through storms, joy that radiates in dark places, wisdom that guides decisions, and faith that inspires others. Your life becomes a testimony so loud that even strangers can feel the ripple of God's hand on you. Think about Ruth. She didn't know her story would overflow into generations. She was just faithful in the field, gleaning behind the workers. But her alignment with God positioned her to connect with Boaz, and from that union came legacy. David, Solomon, and eventually, Jesus himself. Ruth's cup overflowed into history. That's the kind of impact your obedience is unlocking. And here's what you must understand. Overflow requires trust. When God begins to pour, it can feel overwhelming. You may wonder, can I handle this? Am I ready for this? But remember, the overflow is not about your capacity, it's about His supply. Your role is not to figure out how to manage the flood. Your role is to open your heart, lift your hands, and let it flow. But let's be honest, sometimes the overflow scares us. We've been conditioned by lack for so long that abundance feels foreign. Scarcity taught you to clutch tightly, to save every drop, to guard your little portion. But overflow invites you to release, to share, to trust that as you pour out, God keeps pouring in. The more you give, the more flows. That's the rhythm of the kingdom. This is why Jesus said in Luke 6:38, "Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap." Running over, overflow, that's the promise. That's the principle. That's the life God is bringing you into. So let me ask you, what will you do with the overflow? Will you hoard it, or will you release it? Will you use it just for comfort, or will you allow it to fulfill purpose? Remember, this billionaire blessing is not just wealth, it's assignment. And when your overflow aligns with God's purpose, miracles happen. Think of the boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish. In his hands, it was not enough. In Jesus' hands, it overflowed. It fed thousands. And when it was over, baskets of leftovers remained. That's the pattern of kingdom abundance. Small seeds become overflowing harvests when surrendered to God. Your resources, placed in His hands, will multiply far beyond what you can imagine. Pause. Close your eyes if you can. Picture your cup, your life, being filled right now. Picture it spilling over, soaking everything around you. Feel that sense of abundance rising in your chest, the recognition that you're not entering a season of just enough. You're entering overflow. This is your reality now. And don't think for a second the enemy won't notice. He'll try to make you fear the overflow. He'll whisper, "What if it all runs out? What if you can't handle it?" But remember, the enemy's lies only work if you believe them. And you already know the truth. God's supply never runs dry. His river never stops flowing. And if He called you to this blessing, He has equipped you to carry it. So declare it. My cup overflows. I am not living in lack. I am living in abundance. Speak it until your spirit believes it. Speak it until your mind aligns with it. Speak it until the atmosphere around you shifts. Because words shape reality, and your reality is overflow. This isn't just a promise, it's already happening. Look for it in small ways. An unexpected opportunity, a door opening, a prayer answered. Those are signs that the flood has begun. Don't dismiss them, celebrate them, thank God for them. Because small streams turn into rivers, and rivers turn into oceans. This is your overflowing season. You're not just filled, you're spilling over. Your life is not just sustained, it's expanding. Your blessing is not just for you, it's for everyone connected to you. And when people look at you, they will see not just wealth, but purpose. They will see not just abundance, but impact. They will see God. Pause and let this truth settle deep into your heart. Wealth is not a trophy. It's not something God gives you so you can polish it, put it on a shelf, and show it off to the world. Wealth is a tool. It's meant to build, to heal, to lift, to transform. And the billionaire blessing you're stepping into is not just about what you'll have. It's about what you'll do with it. Think of a hammer. By itself, it's just an object. But in the hands of a builder, it creates homes. In the hands of a craftsman, it shapes beauty. Wealth works the same way. By itself, it's numbers, coins, bills, zeros on a screen. But in the hands of a chosen one aligned with God's purpose, it becomes something powerful. It becomes opportunity. It becomes freedom. It becomes restoration. Look at Solomon. He was blessed with riches beyond measure. But his true treasure wasn't the gold. It was the wisdom God gave him. And with that wisdom, he built the temple, a dwelling place for God's presence. His wealth became a tool to honor God and establish a legacy. That's what God wants to do with you. Your wealth will build more than comfort, it will build purpose. Now, think of Esther. She wasn't just given royal status so she could live in luxury. Her position was a tool. It placed her exactly where she needed to be to intercede for her people. The favor and resources she had weren't for her alone. They were weapons against destruction, instruments of salvation. It's the same truth for you. God isn't putting wealth in your hands just so you can enjoy it. He's putting it there because He can trust you to use it wisely, to use it for impact. And here's what makes this so important. The world gets this wrong all the time. Culture glorifies wealth as a trophy. It measures worth by cars, homes, clothes, status symbols. But God's economy is different. In His kingdom, wealth flows to those who can be trusted to steward it, not flaunt it, to pour it out, not hoard it, to use it as a tool of love, not a badge of pride. This is why the enemy fears you stepping into your blessing, because he knows when a chosen one gets hold of resources, the world changes. The enemy can't stop someone who understands wealth as a tool, because that kind of person doesn't just get rich, they become dangerous to darkness. They fund ministries, build schools, provide jobs, rescue the broken. They transform communities, shift generations, and spread light. That's the kind of person you're becoming. Now, let's get practical. How do you treat wealth as a tool? First, you see it as temporary. You understand that money itself isn't eternal. What's eternal is the impact it creates. A meal you buy for someone in need is temporary, but the hope it gives them can last a lifetime. A school you build may stand for decades, but the knowledge planted in those children lasts for generations. When you see wealth this way, you realize it's not the end goal, it's the means. Second, you refuse to idolize it. Money makes a terrible master but an incredible servant. When you chase it, it enslaves you. When you align it with purpose, it serves you. And through you, it serves God's plan. That's why 1 Timothy 6:10 warns that the love of money is the root of evil. Notice it's not money itself, but the worship of it. When money becomes a trophy, it corrupts. When money remains a tool, it blesses. Third, you release it freely. Tools aren't meant to sit unused, they're meant to work. That means you don't grip your blessing with fear. You open your hands. You let it flow. You sow into causes. You give to the needy. You invest in dreams. And as you do, God replenishes you with more. That's the paradox of the kingdom. The more you pour out, the more you receive, because God knows you're not hoarding, you're stewarding. Think of the Good Samaritan. He didn't pass by the wounded man and say, "Someone else will handle this." He used his own resources, his oil, his donkey, his money, to restore someone broken. He understood that wealth is meant to heal, and Jesus pointed to him as the example of true love. That's what God is shaping in you. Your resources are about to become medicine for the hurting. And don't think for a second that using wealth as a tool means you won't enjoy it. Of course you will. God delights in your joy. He loves to see you thrive. You'll live in homes you once only dreamed of. You'll travel, you'll experience, you'll rejoice in the goodness of provision. But the difference is, those blessings won't own you. They won't define you. They'll just be overflow on top of your mission. This is why God had to prepare you first. If He had given you abundance before, maybe you would have treated it like a trophy. Maybe you would have chased status, compared yourself to others, or found identity in wealth. But now, after everything you've endured, you see it differently. You know money doesn't define your worth. God does. And because of that, He can trust you. Pause here. Let that trust sink in. The Creator of the universe trusts you. He's not worried you'll waste it. He's not concerned you'll worship it. He knows your heart, and He knows you'll use it as a tool. That's why He's releasing the billionaire blessing now. So here's the shift. Stop thinking of wealth as something to admire. Start thinking of it as something to apply. Every dollar has a purpose. Every resource is a seed. Every blessing is an opportunity. And when you align it with God's will, it multiplies far beyond what you can see. Say it aloud. My wealth is a tool. I will use it to heal, to build, to bless, to transform. As you declare it, heaven aligns resources to your hands. Because when God finds someone who will treat wealth as a tool, He can trust them with unlimited supply. You are that person. You are that chosen one. And your wealth is about to build more than your life. It's about to rebuild broken places, restore broken hearts, and reshape the world. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You're standing in front of a field. To the natural eye, it looks empty, just dirt, dust, and silence. But beneath the surface, seeds are already planted. They're unseen, but alive. Roots are stretching. Sprouts are pushing. Life is stirring. You can't see it yet, but you know it's there. That's what faith is. Believing in the harvest before the first green shoot breaks through the soil. This billionaire blessing requires exactly that. Faith before sight. You may not see billions in your bank account right now. You may not see the full picture of abundance yet, but God is calling you to walk as if it's already yours. Because in the Spirit it is. In heaven's economy, the vault has already been opened. The resources are already flowing. The promise is already fulfilled. Faith is what bridges the gap between unseen reality and visible manifestation. Hebrews 11:1 says it plainly. Now faith is the confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Notice the present tense. Faith is. Not faith will be, not faith was, but faith is now. That means even before you see the evidence, you can carry assurance. You can walk in confidence. You can act as though the promise is already complete, because in God's timeline, it is. Look at Abraham again. God told him he would be the father of nations. Yet, for years, he had no child. Still, he walked in faith. He introduced himself with the name God gave him, Abraham, father of many, before a single son was born. That's faith before sight. And when the timing was right, Isaac arrived. Your story mirrors his. You're being called to speak it, believe it, live it before you see it. Think of Noah. God told him to build an ark when there wasn't a single cloud in the sky. People mocked him. They said he was crazy, but Noah believed before he saw. And when the rain came, his faith became sight. You may feel like Noah right now. You're declaring abundance while your bank account looks barren. You're speaking overflow while the evidence says otherwise. But don't stop, because the rain is coming. The flood of blessing is on its way. Here's the key. Faith isn't passive. It's not sitting still, hoping something happens. Faith is active. It's declaring with your mouth. It's aligning your actions. It's preparing for what you don't yet see. Think of the farmer. He doesn't wait to see sprouts before he starts preparing the barn for harvest. He prepares in advance, because he knows the seed will grow. That's the posture you need now. Start preparing like the blessing is already here. Maybe that means writing the vision for the business God put on your heart. Maybe it means setting up the account for the ministry you'll fund. Maybe it means learning, studying, growing, so you can steward the wealth with wisdom. Don't wait until you see billions to act like a steward. Act like one now. That's faith before sight. And let me tell you, the enemy will try to distract you here. He'll whisper, "Why are you preparing for something you can't see? Why are you speaking words that don't match your reality?" But the enemy's job is to sow doubt. Your job is to stand firm. Because every act of faith is like watering the seed. Every declaration is like sunlight breaking through. Every step you take in trust pushes the blessing closer to the surface. Think of Peter stepping out of the boat. He didn't wait for the water to feel solid under his feet. He stepped first, then experienced the miracle. If he had waited for sight, he would have missed the walk. The same applies to you. Don't wait for the account to overflow to believe. Step now, walk now, speak now, because the miracle happens when faith moves first. And here's what's powerful. Faith multiplies. Every time you choose to believe before you see, your faith grows stronger. And the stronger your faith, the bigger the blessing you can carry. That's why Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." The harvest isn't in question. The only question is whether you'll hold faith long enough to see it break through. So let's get real. Right now, your circumstances may not look like billionaire blessing, but what you see isn't the final word. What you see is temporary. What God has spoken is eternal. The field may look empty, but the seed is alive. The account may look bare, but heaven's vault is open. The dream may feel delayed, but the promise is active. Faith is choosing to live in that truth, no matter what your eyes see. Pause. Feel that stirring again in your chest, that spark of recognition. That's your spirit rising in faith. That's the assurance that even if your natural eyes don't see it yet, your spiritual eyes do. And faith says, "I'll live by what God promised, not by what I see." So, what do you do right now? You speak, you declare, you align. Open your mouth and say it. I receive the billionaire blessing. I walk in abundance. I live in overflow. Don't wait until you see evidence. Speak it into existence now, because your words are seeds, and seeds produce harvests. And then prepare. Act like it's already here. Start organizing your life as if the flood has begun. Start making room for abundance, because when faith meets preparation, heaven pours out. Remember the widow in 2 Kings 4. The prophet told her to gather jars and pour oil. At first, she had only a small amount, but as long as there were jars, the oil flowed. Faith meant gathering jars before the overflow started, and her preparation determined her capacity. The same is true for you. Start gathering jars. Start preparing space, because the oil is coming. Declare it again. I believe before I see. I act before I receive. I trust before it manifests. Those words are power. That's faith in motion. And when the day comes, and it will come, when the blessing shows up in full sight, you'll look back and realize your faith was never wasted. Every word you spoke, every step you took, every moment you believed against the odds, it all built the bridge that carried you here. Faith before sight. That's the posture of the chosen, and you are chosen. You've prayed for the billionaire blessing. You've declared it, believed it, positioned yourself for it. And God is opening the vault of abundance for you. But with great blessing comes great responsibility. You are not just a receiver, you are a steward. This isn't about sitting back, arms folded, watching wealth pile up. It's about managing with wisdom, carrying with integrity, and multiplying with purpose. Stewardship is the bridge between blessing and legacy. Without stewardship, wealth becomes wasted. With stewardship, wealth becomes multiplied. That's why Jesus told the parable of the talents. The master gave one servant 5 talents, another 2, another 1, each according to their ability. The ones who multiplied what they were given were rewarded, but the one who buried his gift out of fear lost even the little he had. The message is clear. God gives to those he can trust to steward well, and you are stepping into that trust right now. Pause and feel the weight of that. God is trusting you with abundance. He's seen your struggles. He's seen your sacrifices. He's seen how you handled little. And now he's saying, because you've been faithful with little, I can make you ruler over much. That's stewardship. But stewardship doesn't start when the billions arrive. It starts now, with the small steps, the everyday choices, the way you treat what you already have. If you can manage a few dollars with wisdom, you'll manage millions with excellence. If you can be generous with little, you'll be generous with much. Stewardship is not about the size of your bank account. It's about the posture of your heart. Think of Joseph again. When he was in Potiphar's house, he managed faithfully. When he was in prison, he managed faithfully. And when he was elevated to Pharaoh's palace, he managed faithfully. That consistency prepared him to steward the resources of an entire nation. The billionaire blessing didn't begin in the palace. It began in his integrity in smaller places. The same is true for you. Your stewardship today is preparing you for tomorrow's abundance. So, what does stewardship look like in practical terms? First, it's wisdom. Don't waste resources on things that don't align with your purpose. Yes, enjoy the blessing. God wants you to live in joy, but never let luxury replace legacy. Every dollar, every opportunity, every connection is a seed. Ask yourself with each decision, does this move me closer to God's purpose? Does this align with my assignment? That's stewardship. Second, it's generosity. A steward doesn't hoard, a steward pours. The more you give, the more flows back. That's not cliché, it's kingdom principle. Proverbs 11:25 says, "A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." Your abundance isn't meant to sit in your hand, it's meant to flow through it. Stewardship means becoming a channel of blessing, letting God's provision reach others through you. Third, it's preparation. Stewardship means learning, growing, seeking wisdom. It means surrounding yourself with people who can help you manage well. It means developing discipline so the blessing doesn't overwhelm you. Because here's the truth, if you don't prepare, overflow can feel like chaos. But when you're ready, overflow feels like purpose. And stewardship isn't just financial, it's spiritual, it's emotional, it's relational. Stewardship means guarding your peace, protecting your joy, nurturing your faith. Because wealth without peace is bondage. Wealth without wisdom is destruction. But wealth with stewardship, that's kingdom impact. Think of Solomon again. When God offered him anything, he didn't ask for riches. He asked for wisdom. And because he prioritized stewardship, God gave him both wisdom and wealth. That's the model for you. Don't just ask for the blessing, ask for the wisdom to manage it. Don't just pray for abundance, pray for discernment to use it well. Now, let's talk about what stewardship is not. Stewardship is not fear. It's not clinging tightly because you're scared it will run out. That's the mindset of scarcity, and it has no place in your new season. Stewardship is trust. Trust that as you manage well, God will continue to supply. Stewardship is not perfection either. You don't have to know everything today. You just have to be willing to learn, grow, and align. God doesn't expect you to have it all figured out. He expects you to walk in obedience. And here's the beautiful thing. Stewardship multiplies. When you steward what God gives, He adds more. That's why Luke 16:10 says, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." The billionaire blessing is not the end, it's the beginning. The more faithfully you manage, the more heaven releases. Pause. Think about how far you've already come. Every bill you stretched, every prayer you prayed, every moment you chose faith over fear. That was stewardship in action. You've been training for this all along. And now, the abundance coming your way will be matched by the wisdom God is pouring into you. You are ready to carry this blessing with strength and integrity. The enemy will try to distract you here. He'll say, "You don't have what it takes. You'll waste it. You'll fail." But those are lies. God doesn't give blessings to those unprepared. If He's releasing this to you, it's because He knows you can handle it. He knows your heart. He knows your readiness. Trust His trust in you. So declare it aloud. I am a faithful steward. I manage with wisdom. I multiply what God gives. I am trustworthy with abundance. Let those words shape your spirit. Let them align your mindset. Because as you declare stewardship, heaven releases more. You are not just a receiver. You are a manager of miracles, a distributor of divine provision, a channel of overflow. And as you steward well, your life will become a testimony that wealth, when managed with purpose, can change the world. Take a deep breath. Everything you've heard until now about divine appointment, the vault of abundance, legacy, breaking chains, assignment, overflow, stewardship, has been building toward this one truth. You are being transformed. The billionaire blessing is not just about what you will receive, but about who you are becoming. God is shaping you into His vessel, a carrier of glory, a channel of abundance, a light that will shine so brightly the world will know He is real. This is transformation. It's not a surface-level shift. It's not a little adjustment in how you live. This is an identity rebirth. You are not the same person who struggled in lack, who doubted your worth, who carried chains of fear. That version of you has been left behind. You are stepping into a new self, a chosen one, a steward of abundance, a vessel of impact. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" That new thing is happening inside you. It's not just about circumstances changing around you. It's about you being renewed, reshaped, redefined from within. God is preparing you to carry the weight of glory, the flow of abundance, the responsibility of legacy. Think of Moses. Before the burning bush, he was a shepherd in the wilderness, uncertain of his calling, burdened by his past. But in that divine encounter, everything changed. His identity shifted. He wasn't just Moses anymore. He became a vessel of God's deliverance, a leader of nations. His life drew attention not to himself, but to the one who sent him. That's your story. This billionaire blessing is your burning bush moment. People will look at you and know, this rise is not human, it's divine. And let's be clear, transformation doesn't mean perfection. God isn't waiting for you to be flawless before He pours out. He's shaping you as you walk, refining you as you receive, strengthening you as you step forward. Transformation is a process. Every day you align with His will, every prayer you lift, every act of faith you take, you're being molded more into His vessel. This is why gratitude matters so deeply in this season. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It reminds you that the blessing is not about you alone. It's about God working through you. When you wake up each day and thank Him, not just for what's coming, but for what He's already done, you keep your heart soft, your spirit humble, your focus aligned. Gratitude turns wealth into worship. It transforms abundance into testimony. Picture your life after this transformation. You wake up with peace, not panic. You live with clarity, not confusion. You walk with boldness, not fear. And everywhere you go, people feel the presence of God on you. Not because you preach at them, but because your very life radiates evidence of His goodness. That's what it means to be a vessel. Your existence points others to Him. And think of the impact. Your hands will build schools, but your spirit will build hope. Your finances will support causes, but your presence will shift atmospheres. Your wealth will feed people, but your faith will feed their souls. Transformation means your blessing becomes inseparable from your testimony. People won't just see what you have, they'll see who you are in Him. The enemy will try to fight this transformation. He'll whisper, "You're not really changed, you're still the same broken person." He'll point to your past, your flaws, your mistakes. But God says otherwise. 2 Corinthians 5:17 declares, "If anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here." That's you. The old has gone, the new is here. The enemy cannot drag the past into your future when God has already closed that chapter. So, what does living as God's vessel look like? It looks like humility and abundance. It looks like obedience and opportunity. It looks like courage when the world doubts you. It looks like faithfulness in both little and much. It looks like a life so surrendered that every blessing flows through you without stopping. Think of Paul, once a persecutor, transformed into a vessel of the gospel. His legacy wasn't wealth, but his writings and his impact still shape the world today. Transformation made him unrecognizable to those who once knew him. And that's the same shift happening in you. People who knew the old you, the one who scraped by, the one who carried shame, the one who questioned your worth, won't recognize the new you. And when they ask, "How did this happen?" you'll point to God. Pause here, feel it. This isn't just about receiving more, it's about becoming more. It's about stepping into your true identity. You are not small, you are not overlooked, you are not ordinary. You are a chosen vessel of the Most High God, designed to carry wealth, purpose, and power in a way that glorifies Him and transforms the world. Declare it with boldness. I am God's vessel. I am transformed. I am chosen for abundance. My life will glorify Him. Speak it until your spirit shouts it. Speak it until heaven echoes it. Speak it until every chain, every doubt, every whisper of the enemy is silenced under the truth of who you are. This is your final shift. You're not just receiving a billionaire blessing. You're becoming the blessing. Your life is turning into proof that God is real, that His promises are true, that His timing is perfect. And generations will look at your story and say, if God did it for them, He can do it for me. The transformation is complete. The vessel is ready. The blessing is unfolding. And the world will never be the same because of what God is doing through you. You're not leaving with words. You're leaving with a shift. The billionaire blessing isn't coming. It's already here. Step boldly, speak it, live it. You are chosen, appointed, unstoppable. This is your season, your legacy, your overflow. Walk forward. Heaven's vault is open, and your name is written on it.